We're on. Are we on? Let's see if we're actually going to be live. Hi, everyone. Just a bit of an explanation as to why we started early. Because I was checking in my BeLive TV back end, all right? And there's a bar that says start broadcast. And as I came in in the back end around about 10 to 10, because I was just setting up and getting ready, as you sort of do, I noticed on some of the posts when I'd just straight shared them to check that I was putting it to my business pages, they're like the Bets Holistic Therapy and the Hypnosis Plus with Roz, because that's where I check that I've got the link right in the description. So for those of you who want comments to actually be seen by me in the back end, you do need to make sure that it's on My Time TV /videos, and the number of the link of that number is the 331. That's the correct one for me to see the comments today. So anywhere on the page, on your mobile phone, on your tablet, whatever, find that one with the number that's got the 331 on the end. Now, back to why we started a bit early is because, and I'm probably going to have to repeat this at 10:30 anyway. Would I need to, Leanne?
Well, we're only 5 minutes out, so and I've had a lovely surprise this morning of a visitor, well, a couple of visitors, and while she was here, she says, "Oh, you're going live on thing," and I didn't even click that she'd got her alert earlier on her phone to say we were going live. So, yeah, so that would be why.
And that's probably because I was messing around with it. And I don't know how I did it, but I think I changed the time to 10 o'clock. So I went back to those posts and said, no, it's live at 10:30. But with BeLive, it starts, because when I got on and I noticed, that broadcast button says start now, it means I've got 10 minutes to start and I didn't know where I was. And the confusion, it's a hair puller. I won't pull the hair out or it won't go back.
I'm actually wondering, Roz, if it was you've done that, or was it something with BeLive? Because my last two broadcasts I've put up, it's putting the wrong dates up, even though I know I've set it for the correct date. So I'm wondering if it's maybe a little bit of a glitch in the system at the moment.
Oh, look, it could be. I have mine, as you know, Leanne, mine is set up in the events. I've set it as an event with multiple dates. So I just click in the one that says the date, and then I do the correct link for the actual session today. I swap it into that so that every time anyone clicks, it does come to today's, not last week's.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I do. And there was something in that process this morning, I think, that I probably slipped the fat finger on the mouse and it did something. So I thought, no, we're here now anyway, so that's fine. And we do have some people who have already clicked in, so that's great. We've got Kerry, and hi Kerry, and we've got Sandy. Good morning. So you're Australian, aren't you? It's morning. Megan and Nikki. So we have 4 already who are in and commenting, so that's great.
And I've got on my page, Roz, I've just put a comment up there giving them the link to jump over. We've got Jane, Robin and Natalie on my page as well. So hopefully, ladies, if you're still there on my psychic page, please jump over to the link I've just put in the comments so you can join in the broadcast and ask your questions as well. We've got Karen and Sammy jumping in as well. Okay, so ladies, please jump over to mytimetv.live. I've just put the link in the comments as well as it is in the broadcast above the video as well. And that way we can see, Roz can see your comments in the back end to be able to bring them up into the conversation. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm just looking on my, hang on, I did your solo. Oh, I've got to go back to that. Sorry about that. And I'll just go this again for those who might have just come on at the 10:30, if that's what they did. I don't know yet. Who knows? Just that's the link, the one that you need to be on. I'll put it as the scroll bar. The link number needs to be the 331 at the end as the correct one for being now where I can see your comments in the live stream chat. And I've just got my page on my Hypnosis Plus too, just to monitor comments. I think I explained everything. I don't think I need to actually be keeping an eye on that. So that's good. And yes, Sandy, you are in the right place. I just noticed that comment too. So being here, having
Sandy.
your comment on the screen is the right place.
Yeah, beautiful.
And from Tasmania, we've got Kim.
Wonderful. Hi, Kim.
It looks like we have got people coming in now, so that's good.
Yep.
Probably not going to go straight into answering questions yet. Just going to do a little bit of this, just as, you know, it's nice to say hello, isn't it?
It is. Good morning, Nikki. Yeah, definitely.
And, whoops, Robin, hi.
Morning, Robin.
And all the way Ontario, Canada.
Wow.
Now it's around about, just trying to think, it depends which is Ontario, east or west?
I have no idea.
I can't remember.
I do know.
I've got a US map, just so I know where friends over there are in the US, but I haven't got a Canadian one yet.
I was going to say, you're organised. I know on tomorrow I'm doing a special show at 12:30 air time with a beautiful medium from Canada. You may know her as Jay Lane. So Jay, yeah, I'm really looking forward to having Jay on my show tomorrow. I'm actually doing it as a special show as we've got that time difference. So I'm looking forward to doing some readings with Jay. And as she has a very different style, but I love the way she works.
Yeah. Yes, I've seen some of her lives that she's presented on My Time TV and even on her own channel, I think it was as well. And she's on the Binge Network too now, isn't she?
I'm pretty sure she is, yeah. So
there's lots of interesting things to watch there. So have I got a comment? No, I'm just rolling over these.
Good morning, Natasha. I hope you're well, honey.
And Belle.
Hey, Belle. I love the amethyst caves in your picture.
They're gorgeous.
They are.
Very big. Alice.
Yep. Good morning, honey.
Interesting name there. Nice to have you here.
Elise.
Anita.
Yeah. Hey, Anita. Oh, look at the bubs in your photo. I have a beautiful baby in my lounge room at the moment having a feed. She's so tiny. She's like a little doll.
Oh, they are cute when they're so young. I've got a 10-week-old baby granddaughter now.
Yeah.
Doing well.
And I've got
hello from Maddie.
Hey, Maddie. I
just
ended up having
the names. Yep.
So. I ended up with a beautiful, I haven't had a chance to tell you, Roz, I ended up with having a beautiful great nephew born Friday morning. He was only 4 pounds and the poor little thing has had to go through surgery. So I'm sending lots of love and healing to poor little Logan and his mum and dad. So, but he's doing quite well. They've taken him out of the induced coma. So, yeah.
Let's see. I went and hit something. Sorry. I hit something wrong. I was trying to turn it off. Sorry about that. I was trying to turn my iPad off. I clicked on the thing instead. I had us going twice.
Louise is just saying Jay is one special lady. She is. I love her energy. So we're hoping to get her out here to Australia to do some shows out here. So we're putting the pressure on. We're working on that. So looking forward to hopefully seeing her in Australia soon.
Yeah. Hi to Alice. We will get to some questions at some point. It's one of the things that Natasha, It's one of those things, I suppose, when you actually start to do a show, like the process behind it and the things that we need to do behind it. And I'm thinking too of the, the live guidance cards that you're doing lately.
Oh, yeah, my daily guidance.
Yeah, that's the one. Do I sound like I'm scattered? Yeah. Bring it all in. Bring it all in. Bring it all in. It does take a bit to organise myself, let alone sort of try and cover all the bases with what we do as a live show. For many people, they do ultra prepare and get everything ultra ready and have it all in, all the ducks in a row, basically. It's not actually how I live. It's not actually how my style is, and that's just bad luck. But I get there, which we are. Yep. We're saying, hello, welcome, Leanne. It's good to have you here.
You too, Roz.
I forgot that part too. But it's the process of some stuff, the ducks in a row and having a sequence, and it doesn't always work out, and it still happens eventually anyway. It just has pretty much reflecting what life is really. You had in I'm just trying to think what your cards were from last night, because I only just watched the replay this morning because I was out last night. I had a lovely time at a live show.
Beautiful.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, there was sensing and integrity. Yes, was the two cards. So the senses and the integrity. And I think that is perfect cards at the moment, because I'm just seeing a lot of back end stuff, and I think a lot of people are starting to really show their true colours this year, not always in a positive manner, but that's okay. That's their journey. So I do think integrity is something that really does need to be brought to the forefront more so at the moment. And I'm just shuffling them, the two cards together jumped out, and I just thought, perfect. It's funny how the universe knows what we want, what's going on.
Hit the wrong thing, man. I meant to do two of us. I went to me. No, I'm not a narcissist.
All good.
I think that's probably why I really enjoy actually using the cards and the various tools that we have that we can use to help with ourselves first, because a lot of what we do, how you say, working in integrity and so much of the energies showing up various aspects that actually we ourselves are needing to work on as well in our lives. So that's why we're seeing them. And it's why certain cards do pop out, because it's, I don't know, what's your understanding of the cards? I mean, for me, when you're shuffling them, you're actually imbuing the energy of what the questions are that's going in the mind. Nothing really physical with it. It's energetic. So how do you think of cards as the tool? And
I look at cards, and for those who've sat through workshops with me will realise that I talk about the tools, and that's exactly what they are. There are so many different things that are tools, and some use them, some don't, and that's okay. There's no right or wrong way. But I look at the cards when we are shuffling the cards, we are putting our intention into the cards as the reader type of thing. They are there as a guidance, because some people do like to see the physical, the pictures type of thing. I always say to people, throw away the books or leave them in the box. Use your intuition and look at what jumps out in the cards. So we're setting our intuition. Like when I do my guidance card every day, I set my intention into the card shuffling to give those watching the message they may need for the day. And it doesn't always resonate with everybody, but most people go, I needed that, or that's what I needed to hear, sort of thing. There are other tools out there, and that's actually a really interesting subject. And we've got time to talk about the tools of the trade, Roz, today?
Oh, look, honestly, I mean, as you know, what I like to see in what we share is a mix of info and readings. It's not just about the reading.
That's
it is just sharing where we're at the moment. No, isn't that a sweet sound?
It is. She's so tiny. She's only 2 weeks old. It's gorgeous. You forget how quiet that cry is. So obviously the bottles ran out or she's being birthed. So beautiful. She decided before they were heading off that she needed a bottle. So Ebony's my oldest daughter is having a ball out there feeding her. So but so to me, the cards are more around the psychic sort of use. I don't believe myself, and I might be wrong, that we use cards when we're doing mediumship. It's more of that guidance, the past, the future, the present type of thing than it is about connecting with spirit in that way. But the cards are one of the tools. You've got your pendulums, you've got your crystals, your ruins. There are so many different tools out there that we can use to do the psychic readings and that intuition sort of side of stuff as well. But really, anybody, I'm sure the little baby out there, if she could shuffle cards, she could do a reading if she could do it.
Absolutely.
But there's a difference between reading the cards to using your intuition. And I believe, and I try to encourage my students to use their intuition, go deeper into it, not tell the story by one card after another sort of thing with that side of it. Like we have pendulums, I've got mats that you can go yes, no, and it'll show you and all that sort of stuff. So, it's working with what you work with, it's building your strengths and growing on that side of it. But going back to your original question, sorry, Ross, I got a bit off track there. It's about setting your intention into the cards while you're shuffling them. And for me, it's always to give people what they need to hear is my intention that I'm doing while I'm shuffling. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just looking at how, because you've probably still got your other screen on as monitoring, I presume.
No, I haven't got that far yet. There's a few things I haven't done today, Ross. I'll let you know about that one later in private.
Okay.
I'm still on my orange juice from the morning.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got my cup of coffee now. Is that in screen? Yeah. Because I was out last night, all I had left this morning, I didn't remember to go shopping to get my milk. And I am a coffee drinker. And I like my first coffee in the morning. First two, actually. I usually have them in two, just to break that, the fix on eat. This morning, all I had left was the tiniest dribble of skim milk. I really like full cream Jersey, the Fluoro. I am branding this one.
Dairy side of you coming out.
Because for those that don't know, I used to live on a family farm that did dairying, and I'm just so used to having milk, full cream. That's full of flavour. Yum. Full of calories. Yum. But I had to go out at the 7:30 this morning just to get my milk. That's it. So I've got my coffee, and that's part of the setup. Other stuff can go by the by while I'm actually sorting out my coffee, in a way.
I haven't even got to breakfast yet this morning, just the orange juice.
Oh, wow. No, look, I did do breakfast. I managed to do that just because, for those of us as we get older and need medication, sometimes it's with food.
Yeah. Well, I'll be having yogurt for lunch and breakfast, I think, all in one. Maggie's saying she's lactose intolerant. We've got a few comments coming in through there, right?
Yeah, that can be. Is that on your site, or is that on what I'm supposed to be
in the show on your end? In your end, on the back end.
You might have been able to tell, ladies and gents, if there's any gents here, and for those who are actually also going to be coming in on the and I forgot that one, share now. It's easier if you share now from the My Time TV one as well, so then they get the link straight away back to this one. Where was I? My mind just went so
coffee in your milk. Yep. Yeah, we're talking about
yeah, and I haven't been scrolling up and down in the back end of seeing these comments.
Yeah, I just got a couple of people there saying they like using the cards, and the card is a good way for giving you like guidance for the day. You don't have to be intuitive or well, we're all intuitive. It's just training that thought and knowing how it works, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So,
and that's where I was leading to. I haven't been scrolling down because it's been more around the chatting of some tools, which I think is what we're going to do more than doing the readings. But for those who have put questions up and got them in the comments here, I mean, if Leanne hasn't time, I'll at least do a card reading. Like, it'll just be a 1 or 2 card reading afterwards if we don't get to doing readings actually online live.
Yep.
That sound fine? I mean, because I'd rather be in the flow of discussion compared to just doing the readings at the moment. Because I just want to share. I suppose this is about the time I should go do the solo. And I will, because sort of as you reminded me of it, Leanne, with asking me would I be interested in going to the Mildura Psychic Fair. And I'm thinking, I've only got this one coming up this weekend on the Sunday, which is the SA Psychic. Can you say your
SA Psychic? Yeah, SA Psychic and Wellness Expo in Murray Bridge at the racecourse.
Yes, and I'm having a stall at it. For me, it's still a new experience. I haven't done many, and it has had me thinking, God, what do I actually do? Do I just take the cards? Do I take something else? Is there some other way, am I going to be able to actually connect in to the energy easily enough in crowded rooms with people walking around? I need a tool. What am I going to do? And certain things do pop into the mind as to what I could use. And I thought, as a throwaway line, I think it was, Leanne, that I actually did say to you, I think I might take a bowl of water. Like, really?
That's good, doesn't it? Is that in case you want to do your dishes?
But, I mean, it just does come out how anything can actually be a tool to use for connecting your intuition, because it's more just the focus. It's what you're actually seeing, because even in a bowl of water, you don't have to have a crystal ball, but you can use those. You look in the bowl of water and things that you see. I've posted on my own timeline, what do you see in the bottom of my teacup? And some of the responses are really interesting. What do you see? And that's all it is. And it doesn't have to be that your intention is to use it as a fortune-telling tool or anything at all like that. The same as the cards. We shuffle them. And I've left one behind. I wonder what that one is. Look, there you go. There's a ring. So you just sort of, and just there's my daily guidance for the day. I'll hold it up close. And do you know what I've forgotten to do? Hold on, everybody. Part of my setup, you saw me big bum, and there you go. There's better lighting. You did that. You did do your lights this morning.
I've got my lights on, but there's other things I'm missing.
Oh, gosh. And just think, this is going on Binge Networks. I love it.
That's why I'm not elaborating in this chat.
And all you're doing, you look at that, and where's your eye going? I mean, how simple is that? It's not complicated. It really isn't complicated. And it's not so much about fortune telling and getting messages for yourself and all the rest. You can use them for whatever reason you want to. Get a yes/no answer for something. Someone's wanting to know if some treatment's going to work out. There's a card. What is it? Actually, I don't know what it is. Oh, whoops. I wouldn't go to interpret that as you like. I can't even get that reflection off. And that might resonate with somebody. I'm not going to big that one up because I'm just doing it as an example. When I started, sorry, you can go.
Sorry. I was going to say, even on top of that, Ros, we don't necessarily need the cards. You can ask your guides the question, trust the yes or no answer you get back. Ask it as a yes or no. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do it as I ask the second time and get the same answer, and that's just me testing them in that side of it. So there are ways around it. It's trust and surrender.
Yeah, and there's been many times where I've tried different methods, same question. I'll do the pendulum. Yeah, I might do the muscle testing. Yeah, I might do the cards. There is a point where you need to actually trust what the answer is that you're getting.
Yep.
You know,
we need to get out of our monkey minds.
Yeah. And I'm going to do one of the things that I remember when I was actually learning, because we all go through a stage of inquiry, because it is, was there an age to it? Oh, God, is it a midlife crisis? Is it just because it was an empty nest syndrome? Or, you know, there's so many labels we can actually put to so many stages of life. And I went through some of those, of course, because there's just, you know, everybody's an individual. And I was doing some learning around these tools, and the first part that I really understood the most is, look, it's not about always looking outside of yourself for the answers. It's actually, you know, what we see is probably reflecting something we need to work on. If you can see it in somebody else, look at yourself first. Okay, what's the lesson for me? And just see, are there behaviours that I'm doing that's similar that I should be modifying or going back to see, now, why do I? And all of those self-discovery. And that's why I started using cards. It wasn't so much to do readings, it really was self-discovery. The same with astrology, the same with the numerology. And so much of what we have at our hands, you know, runes, what's the other one? The I Ching, and that uses either dice or cubes, or, you know, there's just so many. But ultimately, it comes down to self first, looking at how we're behaving in our life.
Yeah. We are the communicator. We are the vessel that, you know, we don't necessarily need to have those tools. But for some people, they are quite comfortable. Sort of thing. It's about for me, I was lucky when I was doing some of my training that I had mentors that pushed me not to use the tools. You know, if you walked in and you did psychometry or you pulled the cards out, you were like, no, put them away. You've got the intuition, you're getting that kick up the ass, you need to use it, sort of thing. And that's one thing that I think I want to make a point to everybody. We all have that intuition. It's about listening and trusting within, sort of thing, as well. Clearing that monkey mind, clearing those voices in your head to be able to connect yourself with that. And one thing I've noticed in this last few months with doing these shows, and there being more readers out there, there are so many people jumping from reader to reader to reader with the same questions over and over and over. Take a moment. Be with yourself, be still in that moment and go within, because I really think a lot of those questions, people have the answers themselves. It's about trusting those answers, trusting what they are feeling. When we're jumping from one to the other, you're getting confusion. Okay. Somebody actually said that to me the other day, that they had a reading and then they went to somebody else and got another reading. I wasn't involved as either of the readers, and on the same subject, they got two different things. Okay. If you're going to have a reading, stick with one people. Trust that information. Get out of your head and stop questioning things. And we're human. We do. We question a lot of things because our monkey mind steps in. So it's believing and trusting in yourself. Have that self-confidence, that self-love for yourself to trust enough, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yes, it does. And one of the other things too that brings to mind, Leanne, is just chatting away with Tony the other night, and I was questioning, God, I still don't really know where I want to live. You know, it still is a question in my mind. And he reminded me of a very simple fact. You know, all this stuff that you do, you seem to have some faith in it. Why don't you go to somebody, ask Leanne to do a reading for you, do this, do that? And he suggested, I thought, oh, God, isn't it like the tradesmen never using their own stuff for themselves? I thought, yep. What a great reminder. And it really is, you know, to help self, what do you actually know for yourself? And it is that inner knowing of the intuition for yourself. You can actually use it for yourself as well. So I'll be doing my own cards too later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and or whatever tool.
Yeah, and for me, I will go to another medium because I question the information I get. Sometimes I think, I get in my own head and think, did I want to hear that? Or was that what I was hoping they would say, sort of thing? So for me, it's really nice to go to another reader and sit there and just be the client, be, you know, the sitter, so to speak. So I can then be open to receiving the information. Oh, thank you, Robin.
I'm just throwing up a few comments as I'm going because I thought I should really go through some of these in case there is something that's needing to be seen, really. But others are on the chat stream and can read them too, you know. So
yeah. So I'm just noticing there. What's that, hon?
Oh, I hadn't thought of this one. As far as wish we had a podcast, love hearing his chat while I'm winding down without a video. I mean, that's all a podcast is, isn't it? Is the video, is the voice only type
It's a radio
show,
type thing. Yeah.
I hadn't even thought of that.
I would love to
suggestions.
Radio's on the to-do list.
Yeah. So, there's some others. And I know that Robin has a new deck of cards as well, a new deck, because I've ordered another set of the Lenormands because of that.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Shana,
excuse me.
Mind here. And that's the thing, we get so wrapped up in our lives that we forget to switch off. You know, I know my head hits hits the pillow thinking and it gets out thinking in the morning. So sorry, you comment about the water.
Yeah, and her cards, she does love them. So I am just flicking through, not actually reading them all, because I think probably this is where, you know, with the interactivity of what BeLive actually does allow us to do. Oops. And I was going to type look what I just typed, the scare. Instead of share, please.
Share?
Because people
do you want to know a mistake that I made last night that my friend that popped in this morning told me? She says, do you realise last night you hashtag nipples instead of nibbles? I'm like, oops, I think I might, and just, you know, right now we'll edit that.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, I don't. Last night, but it wasn't around nipples.
Gosh, no. Oh, just as a quick question, do you ever go back and edit your videos?
No.
No, I don't either. So they go up on they go up on Binge Networks as is. So,
do you know what? I'm a big believer in what you see is what you get, sort of things. So, you know, and I think that's what people get drawn to, is just being you. And I think that is really important for everybody lately, is to remember, be yourself. If people don't like it, that's their monkey, not yours. Okay?
And having a good laugh about life. I love that. The ha 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 ha.
That's it. Great. Exactly. Beautiful.
What time are we? Oh, 10:57. Yeah. Oh, that's all right. Well, I've sort of scrolled through to the top, so that's fine. I'm thinking, there's no more comments. Oh, I've scrolled.
Oh, okay. I'm just noticing Robin says that she wrote yesterday, I'm lacing my orders. I love it. At least I'm not the only one that does it.
I like this one too, the 100% monkey mind as well. Yeah, I mean, don't we all have that? I know the other night it was before something that I was doing, and I, like the next day, and I went to bed with too much activity in there. And I woke up at, I think it was 2 o'clock, and then it was 4:44 was the one that I could not get back to sleep. So I got up. Actually, that was yesterday morning. So it would have been Sunday night when I went to bed and woke up. I don't know why. It just was.
Yeah.
So I had a nap in the afternoon. You adjust what you do around how you are in the moment, which is what I love doing. Just being in the moment, experience it more. Now, if you've got something, you can, if you can go on with something now, because these things just told me they're going flat, so I'm going to have to switch my microphone. And you might notice the difference in sound. So I'll put Leanne on solo, and I'm dropping out and coming back in with a different mic.
Okay, excellent. I love it. I was just going to add to what Ros was saying. I think at the moment it is really important with what the universal energy is doing, is to be in the moment, just be with ourselves for that, even if it's 5 minutes a day or once a week, just to be able to acknowledge that side of things as well, to help clear our mind, because the monkey mind steps in, and when it does step in, I try to encourage people to acknowledge those thoughts, acknowledge those patterns, and give gratitude, let it go, but change that focus as well. So, we can start, say, for instance, a lot of people I come across have a lot of, or struggle with negative energy, and having those negative thoughts, because I'm a big believer in when we are manifesting the negative, we draw that in. We are creating that in our lives. If you acknowledge it and you let it go, you will find that you replace it with a positive thought. You're going to bring that positive energy into your life. So, you might be going through something in your life and you just can't seem to get on top of things. Stop, breathe, give gratitude while you're grounding yourself, acknowledge what it is you've been through by doing the reflection, and let it go. Because when you do that, you're going to move forward a lot lighter and a lot easier in your life. This year's energy has very much got us about going with the flow more, so to speak. I'm finding myself that Spirit is putting a lot in front of me lately and taking me in different directions, as they seem to do every around 12 months. So take that time, look at where you're going, know what it is that you want in your mind, that clear picture in that sense, okay? And then that way, you know the direction you're heading, you've set your intentions to what you're wanting, but we're also manifesting it at the same time. Ros is just saying, not sure if I've just cut myself out. Yes, honey, you did. I clicked on something and refreshed. Now I can't get back in right now. Here she is. Beautiful. Magic, and she just appears.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the sound is actually coming through without an echo.
Yep, good. It's not too bad.
Because I haven't got those in and I can't find my little, the headsets that we normally put in.
It's not too bad, Ros, but it's okay.
Okay.
So right. We just got Robin saying I wrote a letter and it helped me to let go. I feel a lot lighter and happier. And that is an important thing to do. So well done, honey. Sometimes I quite often encourage my clients to put pen to paper, to do the writing, because when we do the writing, we see the physical, we're letting it go. It's a release. All right. So that's just one of the ways that we can do it.
Is that the one that you were actually responding to there from Robin?
No, I was just talking about being in the moment, letting go, negative and positive energy, how we can make change in our life to whatever the situation.
I don't know what happened then. I didn't touch anything. Something happened that we both dropped out. at once, at the same time, obviously. Leanne, I don't know if she's able to come back into... Let me just see. I've got click to broadcast. I don't know if she's actually on screen or not because I'm not monitoring this. Are you on screen again?
Okay. You've just brought me up into the screen. I must have dropped back into the lobby as it cut out.
Oh, both of us did.
Yeah, it must have been spirit or a glitch or something. That was a very weird. Let's say that. I was still talking. Put it that way.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Whoops, what happened? Yeah. Oh, no, hang on. We've got a "you're good" from Robin, and then we've got the "what happened, we don't know."
We're just going with the flow.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's going to be on the recording, on the video, whether we did actually both drop out or it was just our back ends. Don't know. Yep. We'll see on the replay because I'm going to replay it just to see.
And it's funny because I just finished saying about going with the flow, so timing.
And it looks like we did right. Whoops, that was Robin's. I already did that.
We got Shana's got a comment there, hun, that might be worth bringing up.
Yeah. Oh, which one?
Just under Robin's, what happened? Trying to ask myself, yep, that's it. Trying to ask myself whether to go through buying this house. I don't know how to improve my listening skills and see the signs. Any advice? Much love. Honey, I would, when you're sitting with the house, have the intention of that property and ask your guides, is this the right property for me? Yes or no? What's the first answer that comes into your head? Okay. Then I always say to my, I always say to my students, it's about trusting that first answer, that first very thing that comes into your head. Because after that, that's where our monkey mind steps in. So my feeling is yes with that. When I asked yes or no, I got yes with that for you. Okay. So that's just a way that we can do it. Guys, if you are interested in learning this side of stuff, I am running a 2-day workshop in North Adelaide in class on the 6th and the 7th of April. Okay. Yeah. So it is being held at the Regal Park Comfort Inn. So if you're coming from out of town or you want to stay the night, there is accommodation, but you need to book that yourselves as well. But you can certainly inbox me for more details. We all have the ability. Hi, ladies. Love to watch you both. Funny as. We laugh at ourselves, Don't need a reading, just the love information. You dropped out as I logged in. Oh, honey, that's sweet.
It's a good laugh.
I'm pleased you're having a laugh with us, honey. We quite often laugh at ourselves.
Oh, yeah. And as I'm looking at that, I'm sort of thinking, now I can't remember what I'm thinking.
There's times we need to have a laugh.
Yeah, it is. Like dropping out as she logged in and all the rest. I mean, it is sometimes it's just waiting that moment extra to find out is it real. You were talking about the way of, doing that first instinct when we have the intention of a question that we're wanting to find out. And I should be doing. There's no such thing. Using the tools that we have for ourselves as well. And it's that first gut feeling about now, where do I want to live, and putting myself in that same space. Just because I find it is getting easier and easier to read for other people. So I'm finding that it's fun. But it's also because I just know that it is benefiting. There's nothing wrong with asking outside of yourself for some supporting clarification or direction or anything. But don't forget to do that. First, work with yourself with what you've got for yourself. And that's a reminder to me. So
that's the thing. We've all got the tools. And actually, on something else I'd like to sort of just also mention, when you are looking for a reading, look around. Look at who you're drawn to. Look at their feedback, the reviews, their testimonials, all that sort of thing. Don't just jump in. Look at the quality of the reader as well with that. Okay. I say that, look, I did an expo in Whyalla on the weekend. Somebody came up and I was booked out, but I said to the lady, do a loop, if not two, throughout the venue, look at the different readers and go by who you're drawn to. Okay, sort of thing. So because we all work differently, we all we it's about soul connection and stuff like that. There's so many different levels to all this stuff. So, but I want to say trust within yourself first. Okay, then when you're stuck, reach out to a reader. Maybe
and
pick one and
ask other people who you're friends with.
Yeah.
Do they see somebody regularly? Can they recommend somebody and feel around that way as well? Because I mean, how do we know unless we ask sometimes? Because we don't. It is like picking out the raffle ticket.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that either. You do sometimes come up with things that you can recommend on to other people too.
Yeah.
And it's energy, isn't it?
Actually, that's another thought, because I've got people contacting me about having readings this weekend for my expo in Murray Bridge, but I'm not reading. So I'm actually referring them to other readers. But what I am doing is, for those that want to make pre-bookings, is asking them, what is it you're looking to cover in your life? Okay, in that reading, because not all readers do mediumship. Not like a medium may not choose to work in the psychic ability either. You've got your clairvoyants, you've got your healers, you've got all different ones. So when you go to sit down, especially in expo sort of situations or fairs and stuff, know what it is that reader does. Usually it's listed on their banners or their booking sheets or the details on their cards. Know what it is they work in, because you might be wanting to hear from a past loved one, but not all readers do that. Okay. If they're card readers, a lot of the time they'll work in the past, the present, the future, not the mediumship. Okay. So know what it is you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you overthinking to trust your intuition?
And that is where you do need, and it takes some time to trust your intuition. I mean, as everyone's talking about all that, I mean, I still do need to take the time to trust my own intuition. Well, it's more the abilities around the mediumship. I can connect as a medium with past lives, past spirit. Loved ones over there.
The dead.
And I'll just go solo with this. I just noticed you're needing to take a drink if you want to. Past loved ones, I have had that connection, and I only just really realised that when I started doing my massage training, and I'd put my hands on to start doing the massage and learning the strokes and the rest, and I'd actually get these visions of people that were obviously connected to the person who I was massaging, but I didn't realise that at the time. And sometimes I'd say about it, and other times I would leave it and not say anything. But there was one instance that really did trigger in my mind that I can do this was I did describe to the woman who was on the table, I just said, look, I can just see this woman and she's just doing the flowers and the apron. I described everything that was this lady, and she said afterwards, oh, wow, that was my gran or whoever it was. I mean, it's one of those things that once it's there and gone past, I don't remember it. So not much good asking me, do you remember when you said, that's not my thing. It's given and it's past. And that's the thing. It works for me.
Yeah. As the communicator, it's not our energy to hold on to, sort of thing. Yeah. I'm a big believer in the information that is given in a reading belongs to spirit and their loved one that is sitting in front of us. We are only the communicator. It's not ours to hold on to. I would go crazy if I remembered everybody's readings.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what yesterday's readings were about because it's not mine to hold on to.
Yeah. And that's where I learnt too, as far as, well, I just pass it on. She asked later something further about it, and I said, well, I have no idea. I can remember the picture of her, what was first presented, but the rest, I have no idea.
Yeah, sometimes we need to reconnect.
Yeah, and it was that triggered me, knowing that, yes, I can do mediumship, and then the training with the Lisa Williams course, certification and that. It really, that go out if you feel led that you need to have the support of going to a teacher. Leanne's doing courses. I may or may not. I don't know. It's stuff that I'm so much in the flow. I do things in the flow, and sometimes procrastinate. Things like that.
Yeah.
Go to where you feel that you're led. That's part of that. Understanding your own what your intuition's telling you, what your gut feeling is telling you, what your spirit guides are telling you. If you need to learn more about those, there's teachers who will teach about archangels and the spirit guides and all of that. It's where you're led to. Even sometimes kind of a book jumping out of a shelf at you to say, oh, you need to be reading this now.
Yeah, that's it. And there's just something else I want to say is, like, I had a conversation with a lady on the weekend in Whyalla that is doing some mentoring with another person, but she's struggling because it's straight down the line. Now, for me as the mentor, the teacher, what I look at is we all work differently. I suggest don't just stick to me. Go out and go by who you're drawn. I've got probably 4 or 5 different mentors over the years that I've worked with. There's pieces that they talk, like they brought up in their workshop, that didn't resonate with me, and there's other pieces that really did. And I took those pieces. But overall, throughout all my mentors, I guess I've made my own way of working. Now, there is no right and wrong sort of thing. If you are getting the information, it's correct and it's been delivered, you are doing it correctly in my eyes. I know there's people out there that think and dictate that mediumship should be like this, and you're not a medium unless you're doing or seeing it like I am type of thing. That's full of bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm going to call it as it is. We all work differently. We all have our strengths. You sit in those strengths. And for me as a mentor, my job in my eyes is to help you work out how you work and give you the tools to strengthen that and the love, the support that goes behind it. Okay. For me, if you're one of my students, you don't just walk out that door and it's over and it's done with. I am here to support long term.
Yes.
You work in the ethics. Yeah, and a lot of my teaching comes in a level of ethics as well. So you work within that ethics. I'm there to teach you. You want to go out and work outside of that, you're on your own. I will let you know, and I'll try to help you, but guide you back and pull you up, sort of thing. But if you choose to work that way, that's it. So that's the way you go. So
and they'll all be guided to who they want to follow as a follow is probably not quite, be guided by. As far as a mentor and what styles are used and what the emphasis is. I mean, for me, as far as doing the platform work that you do with your readings, your mediumship.
The live shows.
Well, yeah, that scares me shitless. Oh, did I say that? Oops.
Can I push now? When are you coming on stage?
10 seconds. I think we've got 15. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's something that does. It's not a fear because I figure, well, if you're going to stand up and do that, it's probably is going to work. But oh God, I'm not quite in that trusting mode in that side of it yet. It might not be the skill that I need to be following anyway. So don't put myself under pressure for it. And the same with others who as far as you're stating what you stand for in your authentic way of doing teaching and mentoring, that is clear. So that's not going, it shouldn't be something that attracts the wrong person to come to you. Sometimes it does, sometimes it's really just going with that gut feeling that what your connection is with your own spirit, I just call it soul because it's a label that I'm comfortable with calling my beingness a soul because that's my understanding.
That's it.
I've just option and ask.
Yeah, I've just noticed Alice is just saying she needs to go, but she loves listening to us. Thank you, Alice, for joining in. Maddie's, yeah, that's it. Robin's just saying she needs teaching to work on her abilities. Honey, plan ahead. Come to Adelaide for the weekend. Like I said, the venue has accommodation. If you do decide to come and do it with me, and you book the accommodation, let them know you're with me. I'm hoping they will look after you guys in that sense as well. Maddie's just saying, how can I find out who my guardian angels are? I would benefit so much with their guidance. Honey, do the meditation. Invite them in, ask them who they are, ask them the questions, whether it's your guardian angels, it's your spirit guides. I do believe in helping you find out who they are. I'm not going to tell you because I believe myself, and it can be quite a emotional thing and a big thing to connect with your guides and your angels yourself. One of my mentors pushed us through meditation to connect with a guide, and that was quite a moving thing. That was something I will never forget myself. You can go to any reader and they'll sit there and they'll go, oh, it's such and such, it's this and that. But really, are they making that connection with your guides in the way that you do? Sort of thing. I can sense your guides around you, but I don't go into depth to who they are, but I will help you work out who they are.
Yeah, and I think further to that, I think it's something that either of us could help anyone with, as far as, with the way that technology is today. Book in for either of us to take you through that meditation as a one-on-one. Or I don't know if you offer them, but I know I can probably do that, is do a one-on-one, a guided meditation recording with them. You can record it even. But like anything, they do have some value for our time, so don't expect it for free.
That's it, exactly.
And that's what we need to be able to value our time with that too. So, some of these extra services, they are a service to you, but we can't expect to continue to give out free. So just knowing that and passing it on. In an honest and loving way too. It's not just because, out in the world there's a lot of money grabbers.
That's it. And on top of that, I just want to say, people, please don't inbox us asking us for free readings either. We choose this time to give back with these free mini readings. It's incredible how many inboxes I get each week. I would hate to count them, asking for guidance, or I seen your show and you didn't answer my question. Can you answer that? Spirit will put the questions up in front of us. And I just want to touch, Robin has put it up there a couple of times, it's caught my eye, to do with Spirit is scaring her, because she has opened up and she is seeing it more so lately. Through the workshop, I will help you understand how Spirit works, how the information comes. And when we do that and you have that better understanding, it's not as scary sort of thing as what.
This one is a perfect question to ask at the workshop.
Yep. Right. Beautiful.
And some of those really do warrant having that extra focused time in workshops, or the time in between to ask a question, or however you run your workshops, Leanne. I don't think I've been to one of the full-on ones, have I?
No. Not like that. You've done some of the little class ones. You did the beginners with me originally a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Those sorts of venue, events that we do put on, they're perfect for getting into the more nitty-gritty, because there isn't any real need to be fearful of what you're opening up to. But I can understand how you can be, because, as far as the platform work goes, I don't know. But it's still worth exploring if it's something that you feel a niggle at. Why did it come up? maybe I should be giving it a go. I don't know that yet. I'm still going to do my own self-investigation around that.
Yeah.
But
in saying that, I don't know if Roz remembers or not, we're going to do a show in Murray Bridge coming up. I need to book the dates this week, actually, for that, so I can promote it in Murray Bridge at the expo. But Roz is going to do some sound therapy before the show and halfway through as well. So, and that's where her comfort sits, in front of a crowd.
It is. I could do the sound stuff at any point, and that for me is, I don't know, it's one of those fun. Well, it is. We all have our own area of where we feel our joy in what we're doing. So many people will actually say, you've got to find your passion. You need to be doing what is your passion. Well, passion is a very strong word. Yeah. It doesn't have to be an out there and punch it passion thing, because I'm not that type of a person, but I get a real sense of joy and achievement, happiness, all those good fuzzies. Well, it's not warm and fuzzies. It's just I feel really good when I'm doing the sound stuff, whether that's at home. And I don't do enough of it on myself yet either. It's just one of those things. It takes persistence, get past procrastination, taking the next step every day just to do one more again. And if you forget, don't give yourself a hard time about it. Just go into it for the pleasure next time, for that real, it's just, it. That's what I feel is passion. It's not so much what we've put as a connotation to passion in all the marketing guff, because that's all I'm going to call it. I find that guff to me. I'm very cynical around. People might know that by now from what I say about it. Adair might tell me not to.
Okay. Maddie, have a lovely day, honey. She's just saying goodbye to Robin.
Oh,
So beautiful.
It's funny. As we're just talking about things, and I do glance down at that comment stream, it's just the comments there for what I've just finished talking about, and I haven't actually looked at it first. That's a woo-woo.
Yeah. I wish I was that enthusiastic about housework too. I love it. You haven't seen my house after I got home on the weekend.
I like that. What's housework?
Yeah, that's it. So beautiful.
Someone mentioned something about, I'm just trying to think what it was. It was the ironing board or the iron. And I sort of thought, gee, when was the last time I actually picked up an iron? And that again comes down to our tools or the actual base product tool thing that we're using, because the fabrics and the clothes that we're buying are now so good at being able to just chuck in a machine, automatic.
Love it.
Open the door, shake it out. If you like tumble drying, you can put most of them in there, let it go, or I line dry because a bit of an environmentalist-y sort of thingy, but I do that. You shake them out a little bit if they look a bit creased, and they just fall into place. You don't have to iron. So I haven't used an iron for years, and I'm thinking, where is the ironing board? I found it the other day. It's out around the back, underneath the hose, the garden hose, against a wall. Very rough.
Oh my goodness!
So I won't be.
That's just where you put the ironing board.
Oh, it's the ironing board. It's only the board. I've probably got one in the shed. I don't know. But it doesn't matter.
I love it.
So it's, the tools of what we use, they can change too. Technology's changed that we can actually be here, have someone in Canada who's watching us live, talking as if we're in the next room with absolute clarity of the audio and the vision. And you think, what's it going to be in the next even 2 years, not let alone the 5 and 10? And you look at how much changed in, like, for instance, my parents' generation, from when they were riding a horse, driving a horse and cart or walking to school 5 miles. every day back and forward to the developments they saw with desktop computers and notebooks and phones, mobile phones. Absolutely massive. Where's it going to go next? We've got to be open to what's developing all the time. Sometimes we can get a bit confused because there's so much to think about in what's changing.
Yeah.
Did I just make a face?
Slightly.
Okay.
Yeah. And Robert, no is the answer to that. I don't do Terra. The Terra. Is that how you say it?
The what? I'm just trying to find
a couple down.
I'm trying to find it because I went past it.
Theta.
What time? Oh.
11:26.
11:26 or 10:26?
11:26.
Oh.
Things are changing so quickly.
Theta. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, theta.
Yeah, beta. No, I
don't know. Look, I'm trying to think of her name. Look, if I can remember it. I know it starts with I think it starts with a T. I'll have to look it up. I do know that there is someone in my friends list circle that does theta.
What actually is it, Roz?
Look, when you think of the vibrations that we have being the waves, it's because sound itself is actually waves. And you get the low frequency sounds, which are what you can hear mostly as our audible. There is low. I mean, the range of what is vibration is just immense. We only, as humans, only hear a very small fraction of that. So the low sounds are a slower wave. They're broader apart. And the higher up that you get with a voice like that sort of thing, it's the vibration is actually quite a lot closer together.
Yeah.
And that's very similar in what our healing energies are as well, as far as, you've heard of the Shakti and the Qi, anyway, the Chinese system, I think it's Qi, that are the meridians and how the energy flows through all of those, the chakras, and they're all just labels for different ways of accessing and knowing what the energies are. Theta is one of those that is a higher level frequency. This is only from my brief understanding, a higher level frequency that actually accesses an area of healing and I think it goes back into whether it's genetic history, past life. I actually don't know the specifics.
Past lives, I reckon.
But I do know it is one of those that's a higher frequency.
Yeah, Robin's just put a comment there that she's looking forward because it must go into the past life thing. She did mention past lives and fixing things.
Yeah, so, and that's how I understand it too. So, look, I'll just go there because there is a comment there just on a quick one. You might have an indication of which way that one.
Boy, honey.
That's what I thought too. So I thought, well, we can at least answer one question in our hour.
Boy.
That one doesn't need a card.
Yeah. So, Robin, to answer your question, Hannah, if it'll work for you or not, I want to say trust your instincts. If you're drawn to it, give it a go. Okay. Yeah. We all work differently.
Life, yeah. And that's so right. Go with where you're drawn to for what is. It's that strongest gut feeling. It's and it's only you that can absolutely answer that for yourself too, because it's only you that knows what your financial situation is around stuff and what actually the energy feels like for you when you're actually questioning, and then verify with other avenues if you need, just for the clarification rather than finding the answer. And you
might find that there'll be there'll be therapies out there that your body will resist. It's like medication. One medication will work for one of us, but not the other, sort of thing. So it's finding something that works for you and sticking with it when it does work.
Yeah. And I like this, Robin, you're putting into action some of what you're actually learning even through here or from other people. You've got a boy too, so you are opening up to it. It's not something to be feared. It's just opening up to it and also learning what protections you will need to, because that's part of what you can cover in a workshop.
Definitely, yeah. And that is a pretty big thing, learning protection, because you can take on other energy, whether it's positive or not.
Yeah, and it is actually a very simple process, but it's knowing it. You don't know what you don't know. Well, open up to finding out, which is other two are here. So it is past the hour now, and since we sort of started early because of my goof up, sort of thinking it was a goof up, but maybe not. I don't know.
It was meant to be.
We've enjoyed a wonderful session. Thank you very much, everyone, for being here. And also remember that there are, and I had all this stuff organised, for an agenda thing, and I'm just going to put them on so I can say, well, I've used this. Hang on. Here it is. Thank you for sharing. Did that show up?
It flashed on and off.
And that's to the audience as well. It should be there as sharing your time. You can't see that?
Come up. No.
Well, it's showing on my end, so that'll be the proof in the pudding when we actually get to it when I watch the replay, just to see.
Yeah.
Do I need to improve my way of doing things? It's not the reason. Yeah, it sort of is the reason I go back, or to actually see who, as far as getting a card question thing done or whatever, when I'm feeling that it's been what I need to do for this day, if that's the way I put it. So, and there are some links there. So this is just part of the Be Live back end. Just click either of the links. And one of them is mine at Hypnosis Plus with Roz. And I'm just waiting for that one to go through, as it takes a bit of time. See, it's slowing me down. It's getting my energy back into being grounded. And this one's spiritual. I think it's
beautiful.
A business page.
Yeah, I don't know how I was so lucky to get that. So can I just touch, Roz, Dana's put up a question. She's just thanking me for her healing yesterday, but her third eye is feeling a little bit funny today. Honey, try not to get in your own head, ground your energy, and just breathe, raise your vibrations. It'll be okay. Yeah. All right?
Yeah.
Robin's saying she can see comments, so that's good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So thank you, everybody, for being with us. Thank you, Leanne, for being part of my show again. I'm really enjoying our weekly show. So it's not so much my show, it isn't our show, and I thoroughly love sharing the time. So everybody watching as live now, and we're finishing, do share it out where it's needed. Click those links. And what's the other thing we're supposed to do at the end? What would you like to add?
I would like to add, if guys, you've got a subject you would like to know more about, inbox us, let us know, and we can, or you can do it through the show each week. And if we don't know, we can try and find out to help you understand, sort of thing. So it's not always just about the free readings. We like to share our knowledge, our experiences as well. Okay, so thank you, and thank you, Alice.
Thank you. And I would just like to add, what was that about? Oh, when you do inboxes, please just to the business pages relative to Spiritual Sparks and Hypnosis Plus with Roz. It's because mytimetv.live is a shared platform. Please go back to those so that you can inbox us there with relevant questions, not just for the free things. I'll reinforce that with Leanne, okay? But please go back to our pages for guys. Otherwise, My Time TV is going to have, an overflow. That's it. Break it.
Yeah. So, and they may not be able to answer your questions unless it's on social media.
So
you never know.
Thank you for honouring that. Thank you for honouring us by being here, and we'll see you next week at the same. Well, at the 10:30, and I won't fiddle with anything. I'll let Leanne do the cross-posting next week.
Perfect. I'm up for that. Thanks, guys. Thanks for then. Okay,